Hey everybody, welcome back to Tomcat Airguns. Today I want to talk about the brand new Daystate Huntsman Revere. When I first heard about the Revere coming out, I called up Airguns of Arizona and I said, get me on the list right away. I gotta have one of these. Why is that? Well, if you follow the Huntsman line and if you followed it through the years, you know that the Huntsman is kind of known for being a high quality gun that's fun to shoot and pretty darn reliable. I don't hear about many things going wrong with the Huntsmans. And so I actually have an older Huntsman right here. It's a limited edition Scout, and it's a wonderful gun. I love to shoot it. But the biggest downside for me personally is actually this bolt action. It's very smooth, it's very nice, it's lovely, but I'm just not a bolt action type of guy. I like a side lever. And I like the side lever, I think, because I just like to rattle rounds down range. Just go, go, go. I think they're nice and easy, and to me there's a lot of benefits to a side lever versus a bolt action. With the Revere, Daystate went away from that traditional bolt action and put in the nice side lever, which by the way can be swapped to the left hand side. And while I'm at it, I should mention the stocks come in either left hand or right hand. So depending on what type of shooter you are, you can make that choice. When I opened up the box for my Revere, I found a bunch of paperwork in there. We've got a quality control checklist. I've got the air rifle test sheet. I've got the instruction manual with pertinent information on how to use and how to use the rifle and fill it and such. And then there's a warranty card. And Daystate has put a 5-year warranty on the Revere. And that's all well and good. In fact, that's really great. But that kind of tells you something a little more, because a company is not going to put a 5-year warranty on a product unless they put a lot of care and thought into the craftsmanship and quality of the parts that they're putting in there. So when you get one of these, you know that you're getting something that's built with a high level of quality. And I can say that with conviction because of the heritage of the Huntsman line in general. And everything that I'm reading online on the forums and the comments from customers. These are just wonderful guns. Once I got through the paperwork, it was time I finally lifted the foam and I got to the gun. And oh my gosh, did I get a gorgeous gun. Guys, look at this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, do they all look like this? Of course not. It's wood. Everyone's going to be slightly different. But when it comes to Daystate, they actually use select grade of lumber for their stocks. And there's a quality control team. I think they just, pitch the ones that are no good and they say yes, no, yes, no. So they go through and they, pick the fine select grade of woods for the stocks. Now you might be wondering, hey, did I get special treatment because I'm a well-known person in the industry and I'm a competitor and I'm a YouTuber and such, so on and so forth? The answer to that is yes and no. Yes, I did get to pick this stock out, but no, it's not because I'm a YouTuber and a competitor and all that type of stuff. If you go down to Airguns of Arizona and you know the rifle you're going to buy, in this case, we're talking about the Revere. You walk in, hey, I'm going to buy a Revere today. Just ask them, ask the salesperson that, say, hey, can you bring me out a couple of them so I can look at the stocks and pick one out that I really like. And they're totally happy to do that. They're going to pull a bunch of guns off the shelf, bring them out to you, and you pick through. Now you can actually look and you can see the rifle that speaks to your personality the best. And that way you go away a much happier customer. And that's what they want. Ultimately, is they want you to be a happy customer, because then you go and you say, look at my beautiful rifle, and you tell your friends about it like I'm doing to you guys, and you say it's so wonderful, and those guys took care of me, and they get even more business that way. Simple business stuff. But enough about that. Let's get back to the gun. We'll start from the back and work our way to the front. So, got a little butt pad here, a beautiful stock, nice checkering. The safety's up top here, which actually is kind of nice versus, I mean, the ones in the trigger is cool too, but sometimes it can get kind of in the way. This one's right up here, and it's, you know, real easy to flip on and off with your thumb, even if you're on rifle. So that's kind of cool if you, you know, maybe you're about to take a shot and you forgot your safeties on. Two-stage adjustable trigger. I've already mentioned about the side lever. Dovetail rail. Working our way down the gun. Now it does not come with a Picatinny rail attached. I put that on. This gauge right here is for the huma regulator. So this is a regulated air rifle. It makes every shot even until at some point it's going to drop off the reg, it's called. And then you might see a little bump and then it'll drop right off. So that consistency is very important downrange, especially if you're shooting long range. Because if the pellets are all coming out at the same speed, it means they should all basically hit in the same spot, so your grouping is going to tighten up and the gun's going to give you better accuracy. In order to fill the rifle, you're going to give your dust cover a little twist right there, and then you've got a fill probe. Just slide right in, hook up your air supply, and fill the rifle. Now, many people are using male Foster fittings on their rifles or on their fill systems and such. In fact, the old Huntsman had the male Foster sitting right here underneath the little dust cap. So get yourself a female BSPP to male Foster fitting adapter and a dowdy washer, and that should get you taken care of so that you can set this gun up just like all the rest of your guns with that male Foster fitting. And here's a little tip. Get some silicone diver's grease and just put a thin film on these O-rings. When I first got this, I was trying to fill it, and it was very difficult because those O-rings were so dry, brand new, fresh, dry, and it was really hard to get this in and out. I put just a thin coat on there, and it's like butter now. It's perfect. It's got the new Daystate magazine system with it. So I really like this mag. I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute. And you also get the single shot tray, which right now it's interesting because when you put the single shot tray in, it's got these little pins on the bottom. It locks it in place, but the little arrow points backwards, not forwards like you would expect maybe. So down at the end here, we've got the thread protector. And I bring this up for a very important reason, is the 17-inch barrel ends, I think, right about here. So this top tube, this shroud, does not do a whole lot for sound suppression, and this gun goes off with a pretty good crack. So I would highly recommend getting yourself a moderator to put on the end of the Revere. It's got the common 1/2x20 threads on the end of here. So just screw that on. It's going to add a little bit of length and obviously a little bit of weight to the gun. This gun, by the way, is 6.1 pounds. And when I took it out of the box, I really was pleasantly surprised. I was like, wow, that's light and nimble. It's really, really cool. And of course, it's going to be that way with no scope on it, or moderator, or bipod, or all those little accessories that adds weight each time. But just taking it out of the box was very pleasant to just lift that thing right up out of there. One of the things that appeals to me about the Huntsman lineup is its simplicity. This is one of those guns where you just take it out of the box and shoot it. You don't have to tweak it, tune it, and do all of that stuff. Sure, you could adjust the regulator a little bit if you wanted to, but really, it's just a gun that you just take out and enjoy, and that reminds you of the joy of shooting. And for me personally, that's one of the major definitions of my #1 rifle in my collection. And when I say my #1 is that, that question that comes up on the forum once in a while is, if you had to sell all of your guns and only keep one, which one would it be? I'm not saying it's this one today because it hasn't proven itself to me. It's still too new to me. But the definition of that gun is one that reminds me how much fun shooting is. That's the one that I want to keep. But the simplicity of the Huntsman lineup just got better with the Revere. And I'll show you why. On the old Huntsman Scout that I've got, you can see this bar in the middle. And that bar is to actuate and cycle the magazine. which I have an old magazine right here. There's a little bar on the bottom of there. So those two would interact and the magazine would cycle. Otherwise it would just sit there and it wouldn't move. With the Revere, they did away with all that. You can see in here, there's just nothing. And that's going to make the internals of the rifle that much simpler. Less things to go wrong, less moving parts, less things in there. The reason they can get away with that is because of the new magazine system. This is a pretty big change for Daystate to make. It's no small feat. So now what happens is your pellet's all lined up and ready to go into the barrel. You push it forward, you take your shot. When you retract it, there's nothing in this hole stopping the magazine from moving, so it naturally cycles to the next round in line. It's the pellets that are stopping this magazine from rotating all at once. Let's wrap up with a little pros, cons, and shooter's perspective. This is a $1,299 air rifle, and I would highly recommend getting a moderator on the end of it. Are you getting your money's worth? I think you are. And the reason I say that is not necessarily or totally focused on the Revere itself. It's also focused on the heritage of the Huntsman lineup. Now, you're not buying the heritage necessarily, but what you are getting with that heritage is those comments from people who have owned the Huntsman over the years and commented on it. This is the last rifle I'm ever going to get rid of. This is a rifle I'm going to hand down to my kids. Whenever I take this out, I can count on it. I know the quality's there. I've never had a problem with it. All of that is added into this. And then on top of that, you're going to get the upgrades that Daystate has done. On top of that, you're going to get the art barrel. Now, the art barrel is a team that's gotten together to make just these super minute little changes to the barrels to make sure that the most accurate barrel is going onto the gun. So you're going to get all these pros put into the Revere. And that's why I say that for $1,300, it's a gun that you're going to be happy with. And that's, at the end of the day, what you want. You want to spend your money and go home and feel good about what you just purchased. This gun is not going to let you down. So I'm standing here and I'm trying to pick on this rifle. I'm trying to come up with things that I can complain about to you and the things that I would change. And I would change some stuff, but the things I would change, it wouldn't be a Huntsman anymore. It would be something different. So it's not even worth mentioning. This gun is, they knocked it out of the park with this. That's really the only way to put it, is you're gonna be happy with this rifle. I know that I am. I'm very happy that I bought it. And oh, how about accuracy downrange, right? Well, I'm seeing big splat marks at 100 yards. Now, when I say big splat mark, all the pellets are kind of connecting in a 10-shot group. That's good enough for me for what this rifle is. Is this a 100-yard super competition, you know, pinpoint accuracy down at 100 range rifle? No, I don't think it is, because it's got a little bit of a shorter barrel on it. The whole gun itself is a little bit shorter, a little more fun of a design, and you know, I can't tweak and tune and adjust all these little tiny things to get the max performance out of it. I can do a little bit of adjustment, sure. Is it a good hunting rifle? Yeah, I think this would be a real nice hunting rifle because of the weight of it and the length of it. The simplicity of it, I think this would fit really well into that category. Is it a family rifle? Yes, I really think it's a family rifle and a gun that's just made to enjoy. Well, guys, that's all I've got for you on the Huntsman Revere today. I hope you enjoyed my review. As always, thanks for watching and happy shooting. Test this out. All right, guys, so blah, 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 blah. That consistency, how did I end that? That's a wrap.